you. The same to y'all. How was y'all week?
Ooh, thank God it's Friday.
Rough,
Yes. Yes.
rough. But man, we made it.
We made it.
I
Right, right.
Y'all, you know what? We had such a good time last week. I decided to get my people, and we decided that we're gonna do this every Friday if possible. So I got my man Morio back with us. Got Miss Kim, Miss Possible. Um Tonight's topic, you can say no.
Hmm.
You can definitely say no. It's not, I feel like a lot of times, and this is gonna go three different ways. This is gonna go three different ways. The first way on how you can say no. You don't have to be Superman to everybody. Okay? You don't have to be Superman to everybody. You can tell people no. And this is what I be trying to explain to people. Like, everybody, I say this all the time. Who's there to help the person that's always helping everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah. You rushing, and you putting your whole life on hold to rush and deal with everybody else. And then when it's time for you to deal with you either A, burnt out, or everything is in a look like a tornado hit it, and now you don't know where to start because you put so much emphasis on helping everybody and making sure everybody else is good. So the first part of this, you can say no. Sometimes it's good to be selfish and focus on self sometimes. Now, I'm one of them people. I'm practicing what I'm preaching because I am one of them people. I feel like I have to be there. I have to save everybody. I have to get everything. Everything has to be done right. And it's like when people call on me, I more times than not try my hardest to be there. So, Miss Kim, what do you think about that?
This is a topic I just had a conversation of like 2 days ago with somebody about this because they came to me and they just was like my energy. Like I have no energy. Like I'm doing all of this. I've got this event going. I've got this project going, but nobody's giving me feedback. Nobody's feeding into my what I got going on, and I just feel really empty. And I said, well, it's okay. Self care is not selfish all the time. It's only selfish if your self care means taking away from others' energy for you. It's how I see it. Like if I have to say no to you because it's just too much for me,
Mm,
it's not it's not on you or whoever it is to try to make me feel guilty because it's too much on my plate to keep going with this or that or however the situation goes. It's okay. I'm not Superwoman. I'm a human. We're all human. So we have limits. And just because this week they seen you do this, and that for this person, now this week they want you to overexert yourself and do for them. But what are they doing in the This is my whole thing. Like, okay, I can help you, but who's helping me?
right.
Because when I'm looking around, when I'm sitting here writing out business plans and I'm trying to come up with, business proposals for investors and I'm doing this and that, there ain't nobody helping me.
Facts.
So while yes, I love the people. I love people. I love everybody. And if I know y'all in whole different states, but I know my energy. Like I love everybody. I'm trying to help everybody, but at some point, I'm only me. So,
Right.
if I exert all my energy helping you, then I don't have no energy left for me.
Mario, talk to me.
I mean, she's right. I mean, the one thing I tell people, and it's something I had to learn, whether you're in relationships or it's just you trying to help friends. A lot of times you got to start focusing on yourself, and you're not necessarily saying no because you don't want to help them anymore. Sometimes you got to figure out where you're going to get the space and time and energy to actually keep helping people. Because sometimes you got to realize what's actually going to help them. You know, a lot of people
Right.
speak in terms of, finances and time and energy. I have a good friend that I helped move, in almost every place she's lived in, and she appreciates it, and I try to make that time for that because she's a really great friend of mine and I have no problem doing it. But then you have some people, they rely on you first before they even try to do things themselves. And sometimes you just kind of get burned out, and you have to know that at that point in time, that's one of those instances where you can say no, because you got to rejuvenate, you got to re-energize, you got to get to a space
Right.
where if you want to continue to be there for those that you love and care about, you got to be good yourself. And that's why it's not selfish, like she was saying. It's never selfish, honestly, because if you're a giving person, it's never selfish to focus on yourself, because you're trying to have the energy, you're trying to have the finances, you're trying to have the mindset, the spirituality to be there for those that you care about and those that actually depend on you. So, you really have to start taking that self-care time. I tell women, especially, anybody who's listened to my podcast knows that I spew out a lot of lessons that I've learned in terms of the fairer sex when it comes to them focusing on who they are. I never say, leave your person, anything like that. I always say, what are you focusing on for you, as to where you've actually had a chance to grow yourself and see what you bring to the table.
Right.
Because this person may not even appreciate you at the time. This person may not even notice the fact that you have things that you love because you spent so much time giving of yourself to them. And it's not a knock against you being submissive as a woman. It's more of, who are you as a woman? Since you were put here to be our backbone, that stronghold, that sense of reason, what are you doing for yourself? When do you tell your man no, so that you can re-energize and rejuvenate, so you can continue to be that nurturer that you've always been, that you were born to be? Sometimes you gotta say no, and let, not only for yourself, but so that man can grow on his own. And as a person, as a man myself, sometimes I have to hear no, because it makes me grind harder. So if I grind harder, I learn more, and then I actually see what I need. And it may just not be you. I may have needed to just really find the strength within myself to grow. Mm-hmm. So if you tell me no as my homeboy, as my homegirl, as my best friend, that helps me get to a space of more self-sufficiency.
Self-sufficiency, yes. Because all help ain't help.
Facts.
It ain't. Sometimes it's enabling.
Fact.
Sometimes you're just enabling them to not do it for themselves.
Yeah,
right. And people depend on that enabling.
Yeah, people have this thing where they are scared of telling somebody no for fear of you're letting them down. You're letting this person down. Like your heart.
But they don't mind telling a whole lie to cover up the fact that they don't want to tell them no. Right. You see what I'm saying? Like, that don't make sense to me. Just say no.
I mean, you don't want to hurt people's feelings a lot of times too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Sometimes you want to do something. You like the person standing on the corner asking for change. You want to say yeah, but maybe your funds ain't right. Maybe you ain't got it that day. Maybe know you just don't want to give it, but in your heart you feel like, yo, I really wish I could help. You know what I'm saying? Like when people be talking, oh man, I'm late on my rent. Man, I don't know what I'm gonna do. You feel for them. You do. You feel if you're a human being and you got a heart, you feel for them. But at the same time, it's like, yo, I got my own kids. I got my own problems. I got my own bills. I got my own situations. We all have our own situations. We can't save everybody. You know what I'm saying? We can do what we can. That's my philosophy. I do what I can. I ain't out here trying to be an asshole or nothing, but it's like if I don't have it, I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? And it's like if you are an able-bodied person, you know, I'm gonna look at you and be like, yo, you got to be able to do it. You got to be able to do it on your own. You got to be able to do something. Show me something. I can't save you every time. Every month you're late on your rent. Every month you're late on your bills, and you are coming to me thinking that I'm gonna save you. Everybody don't remember the 100 times you said yes, but the first time you say oh, it's the end of the world.
Always.
The first time you tell somebody no, you could have done them 100 and some favors. And the first time you say, yo, I can't help, or I ain't got it, it's nice, fuck you.
Yeah, now it's fuck you. You ain't shit. You don't never look out for me. They got all kinds of stuff to say just because you said I can't right now or no.
Because I've been in that position. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I said I've been in that position where, I want to help you. I want to do everything I can. But also, I'm not going to put myself in the hole to help you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to hurt myself and put myself, if me helping you is going to put me in the same position that you're in, I can't do it. I refuse to. Like
because if they can't help themselves, then when I'm in that situation and my late rent because they haven't paid me back, and then what? What happens?
Mario, what you think?
Part of that, I mean, a big part of that, you got to always understand what your limitations are, because if you don't know your limitations, the first time you have no choice but to say no, or the first time that person puts you in a position where now you're the person who needs, that's going to teach you in itself. So for me, I learned my limitations with people, places, and things. You know, you want to do things, and like even with my kids, you know, I'm not going to overextend with my kids to say, hey, you can have this, you can do this, you can do this. Oh, yeah, I'll be there, because I have to understand that balance. And another thing, as far as being a parent and telling like your kids no, and even telling other people no, you tell your kids no, so that way you can always take a no back. You can't take a yes back. And then the thing about it is, when it comes down to other people, it's great to be a parent. And I say, I can always use that as a scapegoat, because I'm like, no, partner. I can't do that. I got this coming up with my kids. I got birthdays coming up. I got anniversaries coming up. I got to get X, Y, and Z. I'm trying to take my kids on vacation. I'm trying to feed them this. I'm trying to have a bar. I don't care what it is. You have to always understand what your limitations are. And I think a big part of learning to say no is getting a balance within yourself. Once you get that balance within yourself and understand what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish, then you'll see where you have no room to compromise, because then you'll look at other people and see, okay, well, I see you're in a position to do this. Because a lot of times the people that come to you, they aren't people that have the kids you have, that have the bills you have, that have the obligations you have. They're people who have no excuse but to be able to do very well. And if you help them once or twice, they should have a super leg up, but instead they don't have those things that you have in your life that keep them grounded. So their only thing they're doing is, like, you live from check to check, they're living from favor to favor. It's
repeating the cycle over and over.
They're living from favor to favor. And after I do them one, Smash does them one, Kim does them one, they go to the next person. And as soon as one of us says no, the next person they go to, man, I went to my homeboy, I went to my homegirl, but they are like they couldn't help me. Then they go to the next person and keep it moving. And that's the one thing that keeps me secure in saying no, is the fact that if I tell you no, guess what's going to happen? You're going to rise above it. Because guess what? I was told no before, and I rose above it. I was able to make it happen. So I know you can too, especially if I know it's not within my power to be there.
Because, I mean, you have to think about it. There's 3 million ways to make money. So, like, if I can go out and cut somebody's grass and make $30, $40, $50, like, I can babysit somebody's kids every week and make $100, $150. Like, there's people that's literally waiting on the government and a handout from homies and friends, like, literally every day just to survive. I know people that do that. So, like, it's literally like, why? There's too much money out here. Let's make a movie and push it. Let's sell it for $5 and push it. Like, let's
But
do something.
here's the thing, though. We all have a podcast. We all have platforms. If we
Mhm.
brought all of us together, like hell, Anchor is free. They have free platforms that may be making them money, but if we use it to our advantage and all of us pull together, that's another way. We're having conversations, stuff that people do all day. Instead of going to talk shit about somebody that won't give you a leg up, talk to some people who are trying to do more and do
Who
better.
are trying to, yes.
Yeah, I mean, once you change that crowd you're around, you no longer see yeses and nos. You see opportunities for you to grow. So
Right.
at the end of the day, you know, hell, like you said, there's so many ways to make money. Hell, you can give plasma. You know, all you got to do is drink enough water and do some push-ups. You can go give plasma twice a week and you straight. You
Facts.
You're
can at
good.
least, I tell everybody, hell, if I can at least get a Gatorade, I ain't broke. I ain't trying to plug
Right.
Gatorade. I'm gonna plug at the sound of my voice and rate it poetic though. But you can at least go grab you a quick something to drink and you good. You can at least regroup because most of the time it's not that we're broke. We just don't have what we want to have. And then the resources we
Right.
have, we feel like it's just like that person who wants that great job. Sometimes you got to go get the full degree for like 5, 6, 7, 8 years. Some people want that fullness of it in 2 months. And you can't do that. Sometimes you got to pay your dues. You got to do the work. And when you connect
Yeah,
with
you gotta
people,
put work
you'll
in,
find that.
especially in this industry.
And see, I'm gonna tell you right now, when you do somebody a favor and it's time for them to pay you back, they're not telling the weed man, hey, I'll get you next week. They're not telling the liquor store, I'll get you next week. They're not telling the car note people, I'll get you next week. But you know who they telling they'll get you next week? You.
Yeah.
You. They not gonna give up. They not gonna tell a girl, I get you next week. Don't tell none of them people that matter, yo, I get you next week. But you, they will always put you on the back burner. And that is the reason why, you know, we have to. I'm very strict on who I do shit monetary wise for nowadays, because I feel like, okay, so for example,
Right.
I got a cable app, and I sell subscriptions of the cable app. You know, everybody, a lot of my customers know Smash gonna let us slide. He you know, I ain't got it today. You supposed to pay me every month, the same day every month. I ain't got it today, bro. Let me get till Friday. They know I'm gonna do it. And then, but now it comes to the point where you are late every month. You are late every month. And then now I gotta hit your line like, all right, look, you know what I'm saying? Look, I let you slide 4 months in a row being late. I need this stuff on time this month. You know what I'm saying? I got my own bills, my own
Mhm.
my own movements to make. So I'm gonna need you to be on time. Oh man, you tripping, man. You always giving me a hard time. Da 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 da. Like, yo, I just told you, you 4 months late. You pay late every month. How am I giving you a hard time? See, it ain't your money. A lot of people don't realize it ain't their money. It ain't their money, so they don't care. You know, so that brings me to the second you can say no. You ever had somebody tell you no and it motivated you? Mario, I think you just said something about it earlier. Being told no is a motivator. I'm
Mhm.
gonna tell you right now, if I really needed you and you told me no, you motivated me to get up off my ass and remember, hey, when I'm in this hole, who left me out, who didn't come looking for me, trying to get me, trying to help, offer a hand, nothing. So yeah, let's talk about, how does no motivate you? How does hearing the word no motivate you?
I know when it comes to me, I
Man,
hate being told
I wrote
no.
my
I
first
don't even
book off of no.
understand the word no. Oh, I'm sorry. No, like I was just saying, like I don't even understand the word no. So it wrenches my whole guts to even have to ask
You're fine. Go
somebody.
ahead, sweetheart.
Um, so if I do go above and beyond to ask somebody for something and they tell me no, I'm gonna make sure I never have to feel like that again. That way I'm not in a position where I even have to ask no more because it makes me feel some type of way that they can even tell me no, you know, especially if I know that I haven't asked somebody that I just, you know, would. But I try not to make it a habit to ask much, you know. But I do know a lot of people that do ask. I just know I wanted to travel the world, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna do every job they give me. That way, I don't really have to ask. And I know that if things go bad and I don't have nowhere to live and I don't have no job, I'm gonna know how to go make sure I'm good. You
Facts.
know, cause asking just makes me feel like a big bum. Like for real,
That,
for real.
that right there. Yep. That right there. Mario, you were saying you wrote your first book off the word no? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I actually wrote my first book off of no. What I did was, I mean, like I said, if anybody listens to my podcast, hold on, let me see. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Let's do this. Hold on. I'm gonna enter in another way. There we go. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
I had to do something a little different. But yeah, I actually wrote my first book off of a no. What I did was, you know, I've been writing for a good minute. I was writing short stories. And I was just posting them on Facebook. And my biggest thing was like, okay, I don't want everybody in my business, but I want to be able to write from different perspectives. So that's what I did. So I decided to write this book. Me and my best friend, same friend I was talking about earlier, we got together, put together this project. And before then, excuse me, I was looking for different places that were looking for book submissions. So I emailed Avon Books, the company Avon. And I didn't know they had, things like that. I just thought they just sold products. That's all I knew. So when it showed up, they said, hey, we're looking for writers and so on and so forth, authors that write this kind of material. So I emailed them the first couple of chapters of what I had. I get an email back immediately and it says, oh, we're not looking for that one. But just before I emailed you, you said you were. So I said, okay, I'll write my own damn book. So I wrote my book. I got my best friend. We got together. And the crazy thing is I've been working on it. That's another thing about no. Before you ask for it and you're the person being told no, put the work in. Like you were saying, you write business plans to present to financiers and stuff like that. You got to once you're putting the work in, like Smash has been doing, like he's been releasing and dropping religiously, and I think that's dope as hell. So when you put the work in, when somebody tells like, oh, okay, well, cool, I already planned for you to say no, but just in case you said yes, I was ready for that too. So
Right.
what ended up happening was I got with her and we took about 6 months. We wrote the book, we edited the book. I mean, we read it from cover to cover several times. We wrote different stories and stuff like that. And once we put it together, I designed the cover, we put it out. That no from Avon Books gave me what I needed. And now not only did I accomplish what I set out to accomplish, but I gained experience and now I know how to publish books. So when it comes to somebody telling you no, it should be a motivator, not a reason to be upset at somebody because you feel like they weren't there for you in your time of need. Because your time of need may also be somebody else's time of need. You just don't know. I mean, when you may go to a person, you never know what they have going on. Just like you know that they don't know the fullness of your situation. Those people
Right.
that get upset because they don't get the help that they feel they needed from somebody, a lot of times they're not divulging everything. That they're not saying, "Hey, I went out and kicked it over here, so now I don't have enough." They didn't go over here and say, "Oh, I did this and that." Or
Fact.
let's flip the finance part of it and talk about the sexual part of it when it comes to relationships. A lot of times women don't say no because of those certain insecurities, and a lot of times they get into a situation that they know they shouldn't be in because they don't want to be viewed a certain way. A lot of times guys do the very same thing. They won't say no to a situation because they don't want to be looked at a certain way, viewed a certain way, so they're afraid to say no. So there are a lot of situations as to where you could say no, but you don't. And there are a lot of situations as to where you do say no out of fear. And once you say no out of fear, that's the problem. Not because you said no, but because of the reason you said no. You should never say no because you're afraid. I was just telling one of my vendors the other day, I said, it's cool if you don't want to do what you said you wanted to do, but only because you don't want to do it, not because you're afraid to do it. Don't say no to what you really want to do because you're afraid. You got to really step out there. And see, me, I'm a man of faith in it, all in itself. So you can't tell me what I can't do. If you tell me no, if I tell me no, it's different. You tell me no, it's a motivator. Now that's a challenge for me. That means I need to meet this challenge and make something happen. Because if you tell me no, that lets me know you don't believe in what I'm coming to you with. Because I'm not coming to you for some bullshit. I'm coming to you for something real. And so if you tell me no, at that point in time, it doesn't matter whether it's good or bad. I'm not going to hate you for it. I'm not going to be upset at you about it. I'm just going to keep it moving because it's not your responsibility to carry me. You know, if you're my friend, you're my friend. But at the same time, I'm not a good friend if I'm coming to you expecting you to carry my situation. Hell, when I was walking in one direction for an hour and 45 minutes, there were plenty of people that passed me by. And I was glad they didn't pick me up because after that point, I didn't want them to feel obligated every day they passed me by to pick me up. So I was glad they passed me by. I was glad they said no in their minds and acted like they didn't see me, because what that did for me, it taught me perseverance. It taught me strength. And at the end of it, not only did I move up, but I moved up about 2 or 3 spots in that same position. Hell, and I lost some weight too, so I was good.
Right.
Facts. I think for me it was different. The one time, you know, I hate when people do something for you and then they hit you with the, I made you.
Oh,
you know, or
man, you touched on it. Ooh,
you wouldn't be where you at without me.
Oh,
and all of that. So the one big reality check for me was starting off in podcasting, and I was on this other show, and I thought they was dope. I'm like, yo, this gonna be dope. We got some. Us 3, it's gonna be something super fucking dope. We lit.
Yeah.
And then it was like, yo, Smash getting too big for this shit. You know, he getting too big for it. Like, we giving him too much of a platform. We giving him too much shine. And now it's taken away from the element of what we're doing. Right. And they wouldn't admit that, but that's exactly what it was. Because once I started getting up, then it was like, all right, no, he doing too much. We got to pull him down. So then it was like, yo, I got a lot of ideas. Just hear some of my ideas out. I got a lot of ideas that can help. I'm trying to tell y'all. I got, nah, man. We got this. You know, who off the bam, this and that. So I ended up leaving that show and starting my own. And I'm kind of glad they didn't take my ideas or listen to my ideas that I had to say, because I already knew Bet the House was gonna be dope as hell. So right. I'm glad that, okay, y'all didn't want to hear my ideas. Cool. I'm going to take them and keep them for myself. And this is what it's becoming. It's becoming bigger by the day. And it's because I have my own mind frame. I have my way of doing things, and I love it. So it's like being told no, that motivated me. That motivated me like, yo, I am going to get out here and bust y'all ass. And it ain't even a competition, but I'm gonna make y'all regret not hearing me out and not giving me an opportunity to do what the fuck I knew what should have been done. So yes, being told no pushed me to go to my limits on where I wanted to go and how I wanted to do it. And we're doing that now. So yes, the word no doesn't necessarily have to be a bad thing. It could be a motivator.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what's crazy, it's so crazy you say that because I was going through a divorce at the time, and it was like I had moved back to my hometown, and I was chilling. And during the process, you got your homies that you grew up with from like diapers, funny feeling pants, all that kind of stuff. You got your homeboys that you grew up with, and there was this one homeboy I had. He caught wind of the situation. It was a real bad situation at the time. So at that time, I wasn't thinking about moving back, but during the process, I needed a detox. I really needed to get away from a bad situation. So I moved back, and he just happened to know somebody where he was at his job and said, "Hey, here you go. You I can get you up here." I said, "Okay, cool. Let me think about it." So I go up there, and he talks to the guy, and the guy says, "Hey, since he spoke highly of you, whenever you're ready, let me know." I said, "Cool." All he did, he said a couple of words. The guy liked what he saw. And me, myself, I'm not one of those people who show up in a polo and jeans to a face-to-face meet. I throw the blazer on. I throw the business casual on. I never show up to an interview in anything less than interview attire. So even when I'm filling out the application, it's on point. So I sold myself. Well, somewhere down the line, I take the job, long story short, and we're out kind of chilling at one point. Now, mind you, we're in two different places in our lives. So he decides to one night say, "Hey, man, you ought to be thanking me." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he says to me again, "You ought to be thanking me. If it wasn't for me, you would not be where you are." And immediately I'm puzzled because I'm like, "So was I married to you? I mean, did we have these issues? Like, what happened?" So apparently he thought that I should be in a space where, since he said yes to my situation, although I didn't ask, he said yes to my situation. I'm going to help. I'm going to be there. He felt like I owed him this extra merit of gratitude when it came down to thanking him for being whatever he felt he was for me at that time. Now, at that time, you said, "Hey, I got somebody. We need somebody." I went in, I busted my butt. I did what I needed to do. I helped out. I played my part. I appreciate you for this, but that's one of the main reasons you can tell me no any fucking time you feel like it. Because at the end of the day, I'm that type of person that I love to help. I love to be there. And although I understand that people don't do or expect that same type of camaraderie, I'm still that person that I would rather help you than let you help me. Because at the end of the day, you don't want people holding shit over your head just because they were there for you. You don't want people to tell you yes, because if they tell you yes, even when you were trying to step back and say, "I'm good, I'm all right," that's when later on you find out who that person really is when they said yes and you didn't even ask them the question. So, even with what I'm doing now with my podcast, with my brand and everything, I've had people that I've actually reached out to. I didn't ask them for anything other than for them just to be themselves. "Hey, come aboard. Hey, let's do this. We know each other. We can do this. We can make this happen." And I guarantee you, by the time this drops and it marinates on their minds, they're gonna look at it like, "Damn, I should have called him back. I should have said yes." It wasn't even
Exactly.
I wasn't even in dire need of anything. I just saw an opportunity for both of us. But for them, they probably thought it was a, "Hey, he's asking me for help." And that wasn't even the case. So a lot of times, us as people, we need to understand when we need to keep what we're doing over here so people don't even feel like they're obligated to say a yes or a
Hmm.
no.
Yeah, I that's how I feel the same way. Like, okay, if I'm helping you, it makes my heart smile to be able to help people. My mama
Right.
was a helper, and she actually was a community leader. She worked with battered women's people. She built 2 food pantries. So I grew up in like a, philanthropist type of setting with my mom. But
Yeah.
at the same time, like I also seen people run over my mom because she couldn't say no a lot
Right.
because
Right.
her heart was too good. And I used to go at her sometimes like, Mom, don't you it's okay to tell them no because you just worked 12 hours building this, on your own terms. Now they want you to come over here and do this for them, but they're not they're just running over you because now your energy's drained. Now you can't put more into your food pantry because of what they're doing. But like what you're saying is like they want to throw it in your face. And how much help is it if it is it really help or is it helping them? Like, okay,
Exactly.
if I let you move in my basement apartment, right? And I tell you that I want to help you by letting you come there and like you're in a situation and I'm like, okay, well Mario, that's cool. You can come. I got a basement apartment for you. Just work, just chip in, make sure you throw something in on the bills that change because you're there. I'm
Right.
not gonna it's not help if I'm draining every check you get. How you gonna save for your rent
To
in the
actually
next two
do that.
months if you're paying my rent every month? You see what I'm saying?
Man, yeah,
That's
man,
true.
y'all are hitting nails on the head, seriously. Because
That's
like
true.
when I moved back to where I was at the time, after my divorce, of course, I had a friend. I had a friend of a friend that said, "Hey, he can stay here," because they had a duplex, and the other part wasn't occupied. They weren't getting any income from it, and in fact, it was an inherited situation where they didn't even have to really pay up front. Plus, they got that plus the money. So it was like, hey, he can stay here. And since you know him and we're all connected, let's do this. Man, do you know, I went in, I paid what they said I needed to pay with and without a job, this whole hour, 45 minutes, one way situation. And in the end, it was so bad because I did my part. And it was one of the times I should have, I did it so I could be closer to my daughter. But at the time, it was like, I, I wouldn't change the decision I made to say yes, but parts of me said I should have. Once I said the yes, I should have handled the yes differently, because when I got there, I understood what came with it. Because at the end of the day, at some point, they were below living conditions. That they were below what I felt was necessary, and it wasn't about me. It was about me and my daughter at the time.
Facts.
And so, things we go through, we're not going to put our family through. We're not going to even let them get close to it. We want them to understand the struggle and the power and the force that it took for us to get to where we are, but we're not trying to put them through that. We just want them to understand it so that way they don't have to go through it. So in this
Exactly.
so in this particular case, it's like, damn, should I have said no? But then I would have had to do X, Y, and Z. But in that case, back to your point, you let somebody stay there. It wasn't so much that I couldn't do. It was the fact that I did and you didn't live up to your part of it, just as a landlord in general. There were times I didn't even have a working bathroom. So, that's a whole nother subject matter. But at the same time, them saying yes was an opportunity for them. Me saying yes was a totally different opportunity on the same playing field. So
Right.
sometimes when you say yes, you have to understand what comes with it. When you say no, you have to be able to accept your no. You can't beat yourself up
Mhm.
about a no, and you can't regret a yes.
Facts.
So you got to make sure that when you step into the ring, you understand what the fight is about, what's going to happen. You can't get upset at a person. I've heard it many times being said that you only lend out what what you're able to lose. So if a person asks you for $100, you got to be willing to lose that $100. If
Yeah.
if a person asks you to help them move that day, you got to be willing to say, "Hey, if I do this, I got all my shit taken care of. So if I do this, I didn't lose any time. I didn't miss any time at home. My kids are straight. the groceries are bought, the bills are paid, the gas is in the vehicles. You got to be able to say all that, or else you're going to look back like, damn, maybe I shouldn't have done that. And that's another reason to say yes and no, because again, you got to go back to having that balance of what you need to do in order for you to be able to thrive, in order for you to help the people who really need the help, and then say no, which is also a form of help to those who only want to be enabled.
Right. Self-care is not selfish.
At
No.
all.
Max. And that brings me, because I know you were saying regrets, that brings me to point number 3 on you can say no. Ladies and gentlemen, if we are living in this era where, you know, it is very, very strong cases of guys taking what does not belong to them from women.
Oh,
Mhm.
The
Lord.
rape culture is very crazy right now. And you can't make somebody feel bad for telling you no.
Right.
If they say no, no means no. I don't care if you're in the middle of it and they say no, stop, get up, stop, get up. Plain and simple. Y'all don't understand. Well, I know y'all do, but y'all don't understand how deep that goes. Some women have scars that last for 20, 30 years over
Mhm.
some shit that happened to them at a young age, and they was too afraid to get out and talk about it. You shouldn't make them feel bad or put them through something life altering because they said no.
Right.
Mhm.
And the reason why, so for example, you and this girl, y'all talk about it, y'all talk about everything, you take her out, you excited, the date going good, you had a good time, you go back to her place. For you, y'all had a great date. In her mind, something you said or something you did triggered her to say, you know what, I ain't really trying to go that route with him. And you come off, and she comes off and tells him that, yo, I'm not really, I know we talked about it, but I changed my mind. Now, some guys have that convincing and making you feel guilty, like, yo, I spent all my money, all this, all that, I went through all this, you know what I'm saying, to get to this situation. And now this woman feels obligated because you threw a guilt trip on her.
Right.
Mhm.
Even though she really didn't, she still doesn't want to do it. So now she feels bad because, yes, she wants to say no, and she did say no, but now she finds herself regretting doing this all because she doesn't want to upset you. You should never put a woman in that type of position. My thing is this: with everything that's going on in the world now, you have to be sure. You have to be 100% sure. I say this because one of my friends said y'all should definitely talk about this part of a person saying no. So this is why I'm doing it. You can definitely tell a person no. You can tell that man no. You don't have to feel ashamed. Hey, if you don't want to go that route with that guy, cool. He should be able to accept and respect that. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad that so many of our women be scared of what the reaction to you to saying no does to them.
Yeah, because these men are quite abusive at times.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah,
literally don't know how to take no for an answer. And it's like, okay, who raised y'all? You know what I'm saying? Like it's a woman has to be aware of her surroundings. She has to be aware of the situations that she puts herself in. That's true enough. But if we're out on a date and we're enjoying ourselves, and I say, hey, you can come over my house and we can have a drink at the house. We ain't got to keep spending no $300 for a drink. Like, you know what I'm saying? We can just go chill, whatever. That's not an invitation for you to come and try to put yourself inside of me just because I invited you to my house. Like, I may have just been feeling like, well, I wanted to get to know you more. But if you're more aggressive when we get here, you're just not taking the fact that I have a right to say no I don't care if you spent $1,000 on dinner. I don't care if you took me to the Kanye release party. I don't care. Like, I don't care where you took me. I don't care who you introduced me to. If I don't want to do it, we
Well,
don't do
see,
it. And that it's a lot of women out here that are broken because men don't know how to take no for an answer in that situation. Like,
well, one thing about it, I mean, I gotta say, most guys don't understand that, and I'm not saying most guys. I'm just saying most guys I know, they don't understand that. And on, in all honesty, I don't. I hope this doesn't come off as really brash, but most guys don't understand that it's a chess move. You can't go in thinking, oh, if I do X, Y, Z, this is going to happen. And when she does this, this is going to happen. You have to honestly study. You have to understand what she's saying, who she is, whether you're on the first, second, or third day. You have to understand like every day we grow. So when that no comes out, you have to understand where that no comes from, no matter what's
mhm,
going on, because there's a certain comfort level that it takes for a woman to even invite you back to her place, or even for her to come to your place, even though she may not want you to know where she lives yet. There's a certain comfort that has to be there for her to come to your place, to be in a space of vulnerability. So when she says no, for me, in all honesty, it's like, man, I could be on 2000, like ready, and it's time to make it happen. And you look at me and you say something, all of a sudden it's like, okay, it's not the same thing. It's not the same vibe. Like, even if we were both on the same page, we both knew it was going to happen. As soon as I ask you, so, what's been up with you all week? Your mood could change in that moment, and you tell me how your week went. As soon as you tell me how your week went, it's no longer a turn on. Now it's I'm turned on to who you are and what happened, like, what's
Yep.
going on with you.
Yep.
And it's no longer a sacrifice of a nut. It's more of a sacrifice of the physical aspects of what I thought would happen. And now I'm actually getting to know you to an extent of, and now, like I said, it's a chess move. But you can't play it, you can't play chess like it's a game. You got to understand what's going on at the time so you can really see what move you need to make, because you make the wrong move, you could lose a good friend, a good companion. Hell, if it is all about the nut, you could lose the nut, that probably the best nut you ever had.
Facts.
mhm.
But what happens is you're so caught up in what you were trying to do because you had an agenda in the first place. And then this woman
Right.
now, she may be giving of herself, but understand, every woman that's broken is not so broken that you can't look yourself in the mirror and say, well, damn, I might be a little bit more broken than she is. Let me listen to what she's going through and make some shit happen for myself, because I might not even be ready for this woman. Let's say she gives you the nut of your life. What are you gonna do then? Because now you're hooked. Have you ever heard that Usher song that says,
You got it bad.
yeah, no, it's not even you got it bad. Uh, it was
Can you handle it if I go there with you?
not even that, not even that. It was another one on the same album when he's saying it was supposed to be in and out, and I'm out the door.
That's
Now
what
she
it's
got
made
Oh,
for.
caught up.
riding
Caught
round,
up. Yes.
riding round, looking out for her. I can't remember the name of it, but it's on the same album where he's
That's what
like,
it's made for.
not even
Oh,
that. Don't
that's
make me
that
look
shit
it
though.
up.
Man, that he got a lot of shit on that album.
It's on the
Right.
same,
That album was the shit.
it's on the same album, but basically what he was saying was he stepped into a situation where he was thinking, shit, I'm finna lay this down, it's finna
Mhm,
happen, and she made it happen with him. But she
mhm,
wasn't in a space to commit, neither was he, but she ended up putting it on him so bad that now he's like, well, damn, I know I did the damn thing. Why the hell ain't she picking up her phone? Why the hell ain't she
mm,
answering me? Why can't I find her? She dipped on him because she wasn't in a space like that. And a
Mm.
lot of times a woman may say yes, but you don't understand what she's saying yes to. She
Yeah.
could be
right.
saying yes to this experience, but no to your black ass or whatever, your
Right.
is. Because what happens is you get so caught up in who you are as a man that you think that you the shit because everybody else has told you that. But when you run into something that's full of quality, something that's on the same page as you are, and say, look, I'm not trying to do this. I ain't no hoe, but look, this is where we at. I'm gonna say yes to this, but I shouldn't have to spoon feed you yes for you to take this hard ass no. So when they step away, you need to understand that if they're gonna get at you, they're gonna get at you. If they ain't gonna get at you, you need to step back and reevaluate some shit, because now you understand more about yourself as a man, and that just you laying down some dick and good conversation ain't gonna get it.
Big facts. All right, y'all. Been a dope conversation. So we gonna close it out. Y'all know how we do with final thoughts. Gonna start with Miss Kim.
Again, dope conversation, gentlemen. No means no, period. If that's the topic, no means no. If you tell a woman no and she don't know how to take no, whether it's breaking up, then that's not the one. That's not the one. If they can't take no, then remove them from that space, because no means no. I don't have the energy for it. I can't. I can say no, and it's not selfish, and you're not going to make me feel guilty.
Right. Well, all I got to say is whatever that balance is that you need to give a no and receive a no, give a yes and receive a yes. That's what you work on first. Because at the end of the day, whenever you decide that you're going to be there, understand what comes with it. Whenever you decide that you're not going to be comfortable in your decision. Because at the end of the day, you got to be good with you, and you got to know when it comes to them, whether it's a spiritual thing, whether it's a earthly thing, a physical thing, whatever the case may be. I got to say this part because, times are so sensitive. Respect a woman's space. Whether she's your spouse, your significant other, your friend, your homegirl, that chick from around the way, even if she going live. Just because she go live does not mean she want to go live with you. You got to respect the space of a woman, because at the end of the day, a woman gave birth to us.
Facts.
I have daughters. So, regardless of how they turned out, regardless of what's going on in the world, my mother's still very much alive. Thank God for that. So you got to respect the space, the time, and the terms, TERMS, the terms of the individual woman. You cannot put yourself in that space just simply because of whatever assumption or thoughts you have. And when it comes to me, I love the whole art form of what a woman is. Now, when it comes to myself, I had to have that balance. I had to get that maturity in my life, and hopefully you all get that maturity in your life to understand what parts you play and not the parts you want to play. And that's at the Sound of My Voice podcast.
My thing is this. Look, women have the right to say no. They can say no. They are not obligated to. They're also obligated to change their mind. If they said yes to begin with, they can say no in the middle, during, before, after. However, they can say that. I say it all the time. We have to protect our women. We have to.
Yes.
We have to. There's no question and no doubt in my mind that we have to protect our women. They should feel safe and secure when they are in the hands of a man. Period. You should never, if you make them feel unsafe, who can they run to? Who can they run to? So it is our job to protect ours, protect the ones around me, our mothers, our sisters, our aunties, our uncles, our cousins, whoever. It's our job to protect our people. But my main thing is protect our women. They are what keeps this world going around. Without them, you got to think about it. There is no creating. So, y'all know what it is with me, man. Shout out to my people. I appreciate y'all once again. We'll catch y'all back here next Friday at the same time, and go tap in throughout the week with both of my people, Miss Kim, Miss Morio, Mr. Morio at the Sound of My Voice. Dope platforms. I'm glad we able to do this, man. It's definitely fun. So I will say this, Mario. You normally lead off with a poem, man. You got a poem or something to close us out?
Man, you're doing too much. See.
Bless us with that genius, sir.
I used to want to do this like so bad, and then I took it out of my head. So let me come up with some only because it's smashed, and I love the opportunity. Let me see. Oh my goodness. I posted something. I hadn't posted it yet. It was a video I made this morning because my son he runs to me every day. And as he runs to me every day, I never get tired of it because it's like, man, it's like a constant reminder of why I do what I do. But in the spirit of what we're doing, I want to end it off on something a little bit different. I never remember any of my pieces verbatim, so I apologize if it's a little choppy. So I had to say that part because my kids remind me of why I gotta always push myself, and Smash is also reminding me I gotta be ready at any point in time.
Mm-hmm.
I wake up in the morning whenever I see the gracious, I see the spacious of when I spread her to taste her. Understanding that however the fellatio happens, I gotta take it. And even though I'm not a rapper, I gotta understand that whatever she has, I want to tap in to and kiss her in the best spaces, the best places, her nucleus. I want to taste it, get closer to and help her understand that the no is a no, but then at any point in time, I will still go listen to her, improve her as I improve myself. The faith in me is the Father has given me the wealth of love and heart and knowledge to be. However I choose to see her, I will allow her to be her no matter how much I want to be me, being free enough to let go of, to be submissive as a man and still have a plan that when she falls, I will help her stand so she never hits the floor before me. So now as I let this go, I bet the house on everything that we do, and this is the end of our show.
Facts, man.
Hey,
Catch us back here next Friday. We lit. Y'all know what it is. I appreciate y'all. We out.
out.